Today's video I'm going to be turning a magnifying glass kit that I picked up from Woodcraft earlier today. Let's get into it. Got my pin press, my mandrel, barrel trimmer, the drill bit 7mm with the Jacob's chuck, 4-jaw chuck, measuring calipers, the kit itself, and then these bushings. These bushings are from a different pin kit. I messed up and I didn't get the bushings to go along with the kit while I was at Woodcraft, but I have my calipers and I have a variety of other pin kit bushings that I can use to measure them against the hardware of the magnifying glass. After I got back from Woodcraft, I had realized that I did not get the appropriate bushings for this particular kit, but that's okay because I have a variety of pin kits that I can use, and this is bushing from a different pin kit. Now I start by finding what the outer diameter is of the end of the hardware with my calipers, which is 11.35 millimeters, and then I check both pieces and they're both 11.35, and then this is the bushing that I had found that was closest to it, that's slightly smaller. And the goal with that is to make the blank, while I'm turning, just slightly smaller than the outer diameter of the hardware of the kit. So that way it looks like the blank is just flowing right in to the hardware of the kit. Here we have the blank and the brass tube for this kit, which is going to be the handle of the magnifying glass. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mark the blank slightly longer than the brass tube. So I have about 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch on that side. I'm going to mark it slightly larger on the other side as well, about 1/4 inch, to give myself plenty of room. Here's a better view of the marking of the blank where the brass tube is shorter than the blank and I have room on either end. Now the next step is to take it over to the bandsaw and cut it right here, and I'll be right back. After we cut the blank, I mounted it in the 4-jaw chuck with my Jacob's chuck and my 7mm drill bit. I'm going to turn the lathe to about 700 to 800 RPM and drill a hole. Alright, we're going to scuff the brass tube here. Just get some sandpaper, scuff it up, give it a textured surface. We've sanded the brass tube. Now we're going to get our 5-minute epoxy. That's pretty well mixed in. We're going to get our brass tube and our blank. I'm going to put our blank on the cardboard here. Well, that was a goopy mess. Here we go. Got it in there. It's in there. We'll have to see what it looks like after we get it turned. But the next step is to barrel trim it, and then we'll throw it on the lathe and get to turning. That's got a good shape with a handle here. Nice indexing and thumb rest right there for when you're using the magnifying glass. Here's going to be the front where the glass is going to be, and then here's going to be the base. I'm going to go ahead and get this sanded and polished, and then I will come back. Well, that went about as well as expected. I knew that I was going to be using brass tubing inside of a transparent blank, and the 5-minute epoxy did not really help that. Maybe I could have used a different color epoxy, but I still think I would have ended up with similar results as far as the glue portion, because you can see inside, focus, you can see inside where there's the bubbles and kind of the smears of the 5-minute epoxy. So even though we used color in it, it didn't make much of a difference, which confirms that when you're using brass tubes in anything, you probably should avoid transparent blanks. Anyway, so we're going to get this the rest of the way assembled because it doesn't affect the function, and we'll go from there. We have the pin press, the blank, and the rest of the hardware that we're going to press together. So we're going to be holding the magnifying glass like this to use these indentations for our forefinger and our thumb. This is going to be the base. Let's see if we can fit the magnifying glass front and then inside the press here. We're going to have to resort to different measures for this. There. Good old elbow grease, we got that done. Alright, there you have it. Magnifying glass is complete. Or the handle. The handle of the magnifying glass is complete. Hope you learned something, whether it was what to do or what not to do when it came to turning the magnifying glass. Appreciate you hanging out, and I'll see you in the next one.